Welcome to part 2 of Accelerated Lesson 6-5. In this part of the video, we are going to do some practice work. Before we get to the practice work, though, I want to remind you of the key concept of this lesson, which tells us about the solving inequalities using multiplication and division. Remember, it is the same as solving equations with multiplication and division. The only thing that you have to be sure of is that you consider what happens when you are multiplying or dividing by a negative. In this case, the inequality symbol is reversed. Okay, so please make sure that you make a good note of that on your paper. Now what I'd like for you to do, just like we did in the previous lesson with the practice work, is I'm going to give you some problems to try, and then I want you to kind of work alongside with me, especially on this page, and then as we get into the next page, I'll have you try and do some on your own and then come back and check your answers. Let's first take a look at question number 4. 4a says 4x is greater than 12. So just like solving an equation, we're going to divide both sides by 4. And x is greater than 3. Because we divided by a positive number, the inequality symbol stays the same. This is a greater than symbol, so as we put this on the number line, okay, I'm going to only write in, for space purposes, the odd numbers. And we're going to leave that circle on the 3 as an open circle because it does not have the or equal to component. But we do need to make sure that we shade to the right to indicate greater than. So 3 is not a solution, but any number greater than 3 is. So as I check my answer, 4 times a number bigger than 3, let's say 5, is greater than 12. Which is a true statement because 20 is greater than 12. Okay? Now I want you to try part B and come back and check your answer. All right, go ahead and take a look at letter B of number 4. This time we have a division inequality, and we're going to solve it by multiplying both sides by 4. Since the 4 that we're multiplying by is a positive number, the inequality symbol again stays the same. So we have a solution of x is less than or equal to a negative 48. Now to check our answer, I picked a number that was less than negative 48. In this case, I picked a negative 50, divided by 4, and I got a negative 12 and 5/10, which is indeed less than or equal to negative 12, so that checks out. Now do the same thing with part C and come back and check your answer. Now check out the answer to part C. Negative 4x is greater than 12. Since you're dividing both sides by a negative 4 to isolate the variable, x is going to be less than negative 3. You do need to flip the inequality sign. Okay, because it's an inequality that says less than, we're going to leave that circle open at the negative 3, and we are going to shade in the less than direction, meaning going left. Okay, in order to check my answer, I go back to the original inequality, negative 4x times negative 6, to see if that is indeed greater than 12. And 24 is greater than 12, so that inequality is true. So now let's take a look at number 5. Vanna is saving for a trip. The hotel room will be $298.17 for 3 nights, and there will be additional fees. What is her daily cost? Well, the key here is the idea of a daily cost, which includes the room and the fees. So we know that her daily cost is going to be greater than $298.17 when we multiply that by 3. So first, our inequality situation in number 5 is 3D is greater than $298.17, because remember, the $298.17 only represents the amount of money she's spending on the hotel room. In part B of this problem, we're going to go ahead and solve the inequality and then give a statement that represents the solution of the problem. So when I have 3D is greater than $298.17, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Does that reverse the inequality symbol? And the answer is no. Because I'm dividing by a positive 3, I'm not going to need to reverse that inequality symbol. And what we know from solving this is that her daily cost had to have been more than $99.39. Okay, so Vanna's daily cost is greater than $99.39. That $99.39 would actually represent the cost of perhaps just her hotel room without the added fees. But since D represents the room and the fees, we know it has to be more than that amount. Now I'd like for you to try the questions on page 361, 6 through 12. When you're done, come back and check your answer. All right, first I'd like for you to check your answers on 6, 7, 8, and 9. Make sure that you're doing those correctly. Make sure that whenever you are multiplying or dividing by a negative value, that you reverse your inequality symbol. Make sure that when you have a less than or greater than symbol, you have an open circle on your graph. And if you have a less than or equal to or greater than or equal to sign, then you will have a closed and filled in circle on your graph. Pause the video while you check 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then if you're ready, go on to 10, 11, and 12, and then come back and check your answers on those when you're done. All right, go ahead and check your answers to 10, 11, and 12. If you have any questions about how I set up the inequality in number 12, or how I solved any of those, please come see me before you move on. All right, now I want you to try questions 13 and 14. You can skip 15, and then go ahead and try 16 and 17. Come back and check your answers when you're all finished with those 4 questions and see if you need any additional help before moving on. All right, now go ahead and check your answers to 13 and 14, 16 and 17. See me if you have any questions. And it sounds like if you don't have any questions, then you should be ready to go with your work.